Hello guys, the Space Freak here. And today I'm going to tell you the importance of the sun. Because the sun is way more important than you think. It is more than just a star in the sky. I'm going to reveal what they haven't been telling you. So basically, before we start this video, gods and goddesses, this is the Space Freak. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And basically, to get into this video, if you don't know already, that NASA has been lying to you. They are the fucking Nazis. They don't want you to know the real truth about what's going on in the cosmos. NASA has been lying to you. They do not want you to know the truth because these people, they don't want you to know the truth because people will not believe it due to the decades of lies they have been telling. But it's never too late to send the message out, even if they are already too far gone, which it will not work. The sun is a very important. The sun has a very important food source. You can go a long time without eating if the sun is out, or if you live in a warm climate where the sun is always out, or if it's getting to that season where the sun is always out, you'll bathe in the sun. You'll see you will have, if you participate in what I like to call sun gazing, where you put your feet on the bare ground like this. Put your feet on the bare ground like this, and you start staring at the sun, connecting with the sun. Now, another secret about the sun they haven't told you is that the sun isn't just a star. It is actually a portal to an all-conscious, all-knowing being that has been split into many different, not regions, but religions. It's been split into many different religions. So they don't have you worshiping the right God, because the real God is Ra, this ancient Egyptian sun god. And the sun is a chariot, a portal to him. Because, is that a fly? Shit, why is that bug following me? I'm gonna kill you, bug. No, just kidding. Bug makes me so damn mad. It just comes out of nowhere. I think it bit me. It wasn't a nice bug. Probably should have been nicer to it, but anyway, so Ra, he would go with other powerful ancient Egyptian gods. Anubis, he would go with Anubis, and he would go with Thoth, who had a lot of healing powers and had worked with a lot of magic. Not magic, but power. The power they had was very invincible. Now, these objects aren't what you think. They've made them to be certain objects, like planets, stars. They're actually much more. Because if you look at this isn't just a planet, this is a realm. So you can say Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, they're not just planets, they're realms. Well, if we get into the metaphysics, the two last planets I've listed, don't really have a surface, so which means they are in different universes. Well, not universes, but they're in different worlds, which means different physics. Because once you go outside of our star system, you go into different universes, different multiverses, different dimensions, different realms. I'll have to list there's thousands of alien species that they've been hiding from you. I've only heard hundreds of them. I know like hundreds of them. And I will tell them if I can get them all in a Google Doc, that shit would be very helpful. But anyway, back to the story. So he would go with Seth, who is also known in Greek mythology as Zeus. So he would go which they haven't been telling you about. So you can only be spiritual to understand this, even if you are at a low vibration, because some of your vibrations, like mine, may have been lowered recently, and you may have bounced back. You may tell, if you're spiritual, you may tell the energy is low, but bear with me here, because I am here to speak the truth. Just because I feel like shit doesn't mean I don't have to get the message, because I am going back to back to back with these YouTube videos. So Ra, he would go in this ship, not this ship, but this chariot, which is the sun. And he would go in this chariot with these other gods. And he would ride across the sky, which represents the sun riding across the sky. Now, this is Egyptian mythology. Bear with me. So he would actually go with the other gods. And so they would go down into the underworld, the realm of Hades, to battle with demons. And a certain demon would all have the gods hypnotized, except for one who had connections with the underworld. And that one was Seth, the snake named Apophis, which is named after a so-called asteroid, which is, it's not an asteroid. It is more like a space. Some asteroids, they aren't even asteroids. They are like secret spaceships run by secret alien beings. And this certain snake that comes into this underworld intends to inhabit. It's not no rock. This is where the creature lays its nest, all right? Because there are a lot of objects in the cosmos they haven't told you about. And so this, you keep going into the underworld, and they'd all get hypnotized except for Seth. And so he was the only one who could break the spell. Even Ra, the most powerful god, he would be hypnotized. Amun-Ra would be hypnotized along with Thoth and Anubis and the other gods that rode with him, except for Seth, who could break the spell. And so Ra and his allies could battle Apophis. But that all changed because Ra, Osiris was his son, and basically Isis was Osiris's sister and his wife. So basically they have Ra's offspring, which is Horus, who betrays Ra, and is the reason why the planet's in this fucked up condition it is in now. because of this bastard, Seth. Because he battles, and this is what my necklace is for. This is what my necklace is for. This is the Eye of Horus. I'll put Horus up on screen. I've done a drawing of Horus before. Horus battles. Horus goes in an epic battle in Egypt, in the old Egypt. Because
I don't think so. Hey, Jordan.
Hey there.
My name's Doug.
Hey there, Doug. What do you mean you don't think so?
That's just a saying.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
See, you got haters. This is what I'm talking about. Gang stalking. Haters. I don't think so. Doubting my metaphysics. Them white people can't doubt my metaphysics. Because the God is within me. They can't. No racism to white people, but they just don't understand what I'm talking about. So anyway, he goes to battle. And Horus wins the battle, but it's at a cost. Because this battle is so deadly and it's so brutal that because the reason Horus went up against Anubis is because Osiris was murdered by Seth. Seth is the devil. He murdered and chopped up Osiris's body and threw them throughout random parts of Egypt. And his wife, Isis, which is also his sister, she couldn't handle his death. And since she was a powerful god, she had healing powers. So she went around Egypt searching for his different body parts. And so she found them. And she had trouble finding them. She had trouble finding his leg, I think, in southern Egypt. But she was able to find all pieces of his body and reconstruct him. And as you can see, there are still parts of his body chunks of his body that didn't make it. He is like an all-powerful God. There is evidence left behind in this old modern Egypt, which is now Egypt with the capital of Cairo. It wasn't originally called Egypt. It was Kemet originally. So they haven't been telling you. They faked this history. And so basically what happened there is after she reconstructs Osiris, he goes after Horus because he is Ra's son. And this is why people worship Jesus, because there was no such thing as Jesus Christ. He never existed. Horus is the most similar thing because his sister was never... Isis was never really impregnated by Osiris. He got her since he was a god. They tell you in the Christian Bible that an all-powerful being made a son to come down here to be tortured by his own race. I don't think so. That story isn't lining up. No, we're not going to do that. We all know that. This Jesus isn't real. All right, and so basically we need to understand that they went into battle, and Horus, he lost his eye. It got ripped out in a brutal battle. It was deadly on both sides, but Horus won. But since Horus's eye was taken, which Horus's eye was also the sun, and his other eye was the moon. So instead of having Horus's eye taken, it was fixed by Ra, the sun god. But a deal was made that Satan the devil, Zeus, or as you can call him, Seth, he gets to rule over the earth in thousands of years of darkness. And that's why you have all these distractions going on in the day. It took them years, these invaders years, to take over this planet. because they ain't even from this planet. Because what they're not telling you is far away in another galaxy, in the Andromeda. I'm pretty sure that in the Andromeda, there's a planet called Egypt, where a bunch of conscious gods come from. This is where if you believe in a god, if you don't, this is where a bunch of God's most powerful angels, which would be gods and goddesses, and us melanated people that have skin that's melanated, if you're what they label you as black or Hispanic or dark-skinned, you are one of these powerful gods and goddesses. We are some of the most powerful beings in the universe. And so, yeah, like that. Done with that lecture. I'm about to wrap up the video. Also, just saying, the sun's a food source. You can go like almost a week without eating. You can go a whole week without eating. Just drinking water and soaking up the sun, because white people, they can't go in the sun. I made a video about certain alien beings that can't go in the sun. Certain fucking aliens that can't go in the sun. They can't go in the sun because they can't take it. White people can't take it either. White people, us black people, we could sit up in the sun for an hour to 6 hours. Us black, Hispanic people, we can sit in the sun. Native American, dark-skinned people, we can sit in the sun for hours and it won't burn us. But white people, they're like, oh, dude, my skin's turning red. I need some sunscreen. Shit like that. No disrespect to any of the white people, but it's just because we don't contain, I'm not trying to be racist, but since we are all powerful, conscious, knowing gods, we don't contain DNA. We contain a much more powerful version, DEA. All right. In the sun, but basically you don't need, I'm not saying don't starve yourself, but if you're overweight, if you spend time in the sun, or if you've been eating a lot of unhealthy foods, you're going to notice the sun's going to burn your skin when it's really hot outside. Or if it's not even that hot outside, you start looking at the sun and it starts to burn your skin. That's because the photon energy is coming through to your soul and is elevating your consciousness to the cosmos, and it is burning all the unhealthy things like meat, like dead animals that have been killed and are unconscious. And fast food and fake fruits and vegetables from the supermarket that were genetically modified. But it's good to eat fruits and vegetables. It's good. At least you tried. Just be careful at the supermarket, because a lot of the foods they making, nigga, they ain't real. That shit ain't real no mo. They making that shit in the lab. They say it's grown, but you gotta watch the labels. Because if you look at the back of the Apple Jacks, they gotta make them with the same apples in the store, because they say them fucking Apples Jacks can cause cancer, and they can hurt people that they can cause discomfort in pregnant women. These Apple Jacks, and they can lead to heart attack, cancer. There are chemicals in them. They're making these fake genetically modified foods with these poisonous chemicals. The same chemicals they used in wars. Using chemicals like mustard gas. They might use shit like that. Chemicals that are similar to mustard gas in your fucking food. So when you look at the sun, it's burning out all the toxic, evil energy. And because remember, you are a multi-dimensional being. If you have the skin, if your skin color is melanated, which is dark or brown or has any tint of dark in it, you are a melanated being. And you have not one, but several different physical bodies in the cosmos. Some of these aren't physical. You have several etheric bodies. The sixth one is the non-etheric, the non-ether one. All right. And you got the etheric bodies, which are spiritual bodies, not physical. My bad. I said they're all physical. My bad. Shit. But I'm getting this information. I'm getting these downloads. I've regurgitated some of this. But most of this I've got from the sun itself. Because the sun, if you just look at the sun, you don't even need to have your shoes off on the ground. You can look through it inside if it's like... Because I don't live in somewhere warm. Like, I don't live in anywhere warm where I can be in the sun all day. I live in New York, where it snows late. So if it snows on the ground, I can just look in the sun from outside. But usually I'm outside when I'm looking at it. No matter what, I'm outside in nature with the sun in it. So I'm outside in the sun with it. And that sun gives me light. It heals your soul. So yeah, that's it for this video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It's a Space Freak.